There comes a moment in every journey when the thrill is gone, when excitement fades, and the road seems longer than ever before. It is here, in this very moment, that the future is decided not by talent, not by opportunity, but by the iron decision to keep going. First, you must have a definiteness of purpose. Without a clear destination, the mind is easily persuaded to turn back at the first obstacle. Fix in your heart the goal that burns within you. Let it be so vivid, so definite, that no passing storm can shake it. Second, you must develop mastery over self. Your greatest enemy is not hardship, but the voice inside that whispers, "Stop, it's too hard." Learn to command yourself as a general commands an army. Speak to your spirit firmly, and it will obey. Third, understand the power of persistence. It is not brilliance that builds empires, it is dogged, unrelenting action. When others pause to complain, the persistent worker gathers one more brick, lays one more stone, takes one more step. Over time, the mountain is conquered. Fourth, never fear temporary defeat. Defeat is never permanent unless you accept it. Each stumble is merely a test, a sharpening of your will. Behind every hardship is a hidden treasure, but only those who press forward will ever claim it. Fifth, practice auto, suggestion for endurance. The world will not always encourage you. Therefore, you must encourage yourself. Feed your mind daily with affirmations of your strength, your resilience, your inevitability. Whisper it to yourself if you must, shout it if you can, but never stop believing it. Finally, trust in the faith of invisible progress. Results are not always visible to the eye. Like seeds planted deep in the earth, your efforts are taking root beneath the surface. Keep watering them with action, and in due time, they will burst forth with life. Force yourself to keep going. When you feel least able to move forward, that is the very hour you must summon your greatest power. Beyond that struggle lies the life you are destined to live. Push through. Your future self is waiting to welcome you. In the journey of life, many are adrift, carried by the tides of circumstance, opinion, and fear. They move from task to task, idea to idea, without direction, and then wonder why success seems to elude them. The truth is simple but often overlooked. No one can achieve anything of lasting value without a clear and definite purpose. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. It is the fixed star by which you must steer your ship through the storms and darkness of uncertainty. A person without a definite aim is like a ship without a rudder. It may be strong, it may be swift, it may have the finest crew and the most detailed map, but without a rudder to guide it, it will drift aimlessly, vulnerable to every current and every gust of wind. So it is with human beings. Talent alone is not enough. Intelligence alone is not enough. Good intentions alone are not enough. Only a clear, burning sense of direction can forge the energy of your mind and body into a force strong enough to overcome obstacles and fulfill your destiny. Definiteness of purpose is not simply about having a vague wish. It is about identifying a single, specific goal that grips you so strongly that it occupies your mind day and night. It is about knowing exactly what you want, why you want it, and what you are willing to give in return to obtain it. Vague hopes create vague results. Specific, definite desires create focused, powerful action. The sharper your aim, the greater your chances of striking your target. Those who achieve great things are not necessarily the ones who work the hardest physically, nor even the ones who have the most natural gifts. They are the ones who move with a sense of mission. Every action they take is aligned with their purpose. Every decision they make is measured against it. They do not allow distractions to steal their time or energy because they understand that every moment spent on what does not matter takes them further from what does. Without definiteness of purpose, even effort can become a trap. You may find yourself busy all day, working hard but accomplishing little. Activity alone does not guarantee progress. Purposeful activity, driven by a well-defined goal, is what transforms labor into achievement. Each day, you must ask yourself, is this action moving me closer to my definite purpose? or is it merely motion without meaning? Developing definiteness of purpose begins with deep reflection. It requires you to know yourself, your passions, your talents, your deepest desires. It demands that you reject the shallow goals that others might set for you, and instead listen to the voice within that calls you toward your true mission. It requires courage, for once you set a definite aim, you can no longer hide behind excuses or distractions. You are either moving toward your goal or you are not. The clarity of purpose shines a light on your actions and demands accountability. Once you have chosen your purpose, it must become a living force in your life. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Picture it in your mind with such intensity that it feels real even before it has been achieved. Make decisions quickly when they serve your purpose, and change them slowly, if at all. Let your purpose guide your plans, your habits, and your associations. Associate with those who inspire you to move closer to your goal and distance yourself from those who sow seeds of doubt and fear. Understand also that your definite purpose will give you resilience when difficulties arise. Challenges that would crush a wandering spirit will barely shake a soul driven by purpose. When you know why you are fighting, you can endure almost any hardship. When your purpose is strong enough, obstacles become stepping stones, and failures become lessons that sharpen your resolve. In the end, definiteness of purpose is not just a principle of success, it is a law of nature. All growth, all achievement, all progress follows the line of a definite plan. The river does not reach the sea by wandering in circles. It carves a path and flows relentlessly forward. So must you decide what you want. Fix your whole heart upon it. Refuse to be distracted or discouraged. Force every action, every thought, every ounce of your being to serve your purpose, and nothing on earth will be able to stop you. The ability to master yourself is the foundation of all true success. Until you have gained command over your own thoughts, emotions, and actions, you will always be at the mercy of external circumstances. Mastery over self means becoming the ruler of your own inner world, refusing to be swayed by fear, laziness, doubt, or the fleeting temptations that seek to pull you off course. It is a discipline that must be cultivated daily, for without it, even the greatest plans collapse under the weight of inconsistency and weakness. Self-mastery begins in the mind. Your thoughts are the architects of your destiny. Every action you take is first born as a thought, whether conscious or unconscious. If you allow negative, weak, or fearful thoughts to dominate your mind, you will find yourself acting in ways that sabotage your goals. Therefore, the first and greatest act of self-mastery is the control of your thinking. You must guard your mind as a king guards his kingdom, permitting only those thoughts which strengthen your resolve and drive you forward. This does not happen by accident. It demands intentional effort. You must become aware of the inner dialogue that runs through your mind each day. You must catch yourself in moments of doubt, moments of complaint, moments when excuses start to whisper in your ear, and then deliberately replace those thoughts with words of power, confidence, and determination. Over time, you reprogram your mind to serve you instead of betray you. Mastery over self also demands control over emotion. It is easy to act with enthusiasm when all is going well, but the true test of character is how you behave when adversity strikes. If you allow anger, fear, or despair to rule you, you become a slave to circumstances. But when you maintain composure, when you choose courage even in the midst of fear, when you respond to setbacks with calm analysis rather than panic, you prove that you are master, not servant, of your emotions. Discipline is the physical expression of self-mastery. It is easy to dream great dreams, but dreams without disciplined action are nothing more than illusions. Discipline means doing what must be done whether you feel like it or not. It means honoring the commitments you make to yourself even when the initial excitement has faded and only the grind remains. The ability to command yourself to act consistently, persistently, intelligently is the difference between those who talk about success and those who achieve it. Many people wait for motivation to strike before they take action. This is a fatal mistake. Motivation is fleeting and unreliable. Self-mastery teaches that action must be taken regardless of emotion. When you act first, motivation often follows. You cannot afford to wait to feel ready, to feel inspired, to feel confident. You must learn to act in spite of fear, act in spite of fatigue, act in spite of every internal excuse that tries to hold you back. Action is the weapon by which you slay hesitation and doubt. Self-mastery also requires the setting and enforcement of personal standards. You must decide who you are going to be, what you will accept from yourself, and what you will not. When you set high standards for your behavior, for your work ethic, for your integrity, you automatically separate yourself from the masses who live according to convenience rather than principle. You must hold yourself accountable, even when no one else is watching, for it is in the unseen moments that your character is forged. Another crucial element of self-mastery is patience. In a world addicted to instant gratification, the ability to delay reward, to endure the long and often invisible processes of growth, is a superpower. You must trust that the seeds you plant today will bloom in their season, and you must persist without visible results for as long as it takes. Impatience leads to distraction and abandonment of the path. Patience fuels relentless action, regardless of immediate outcomes. Ultimately, mastery over self is not a destination but a lifelong pursuit. It is a daily battle between the higher self that seeks greatness and the lower self that craves comfort. Each day you choose which voice to obey. With each disciplined act, each controlled thought, each courageous choice in the face of fear, you strengthen your command over yourself. Over time, you become unstoppable, for the man or woman who has mastered self cannot be defeated by any external force. True power lies within, and when you seize it, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Persistence is the quiet power that makes the difference between those who succeed and those who fail. It is the unseen force that pushes you forward when all else would suggest stopping. Success is never a straight line. It is a path marked with obstacles, setbacks, and periods of uncertainty. However, what separates those who achieve their goals from those who don't is their ability to keep moving forward, regardless of the challenges they face. The world rewards persistence more than any other trait. It is easy to be enthusiastic when things are going well. It is easy to feel confident when the results come quickly. But what happens when you hit your first wall? What happens when the road becomes rocky and the progress seems slow? This is where persistence steps in. It is not the ability to do something once or twice, but the strength to keep doing it over and over, even when the results are not immediately visible. Persistence is often misunderstood. Many people think that if they are persistent enough, they will eventually succeed. And while that is true in a sense, it requires more than just blind repetition. It requires an understanding that the process of persistence is a journey of continuous learning and refinement. It is about refining your methods, adjusting your approach, and never losing sight of your ultimate goal. Persistence means that you do not quit when the first strategy fails. You do not give up when others doubt you. Instead, you look for another way, another approach, and another opportunity. Persistence involves a deep and unwavering belief in the outcome, even when the process is grueling and uncertain. It is this belief that fuels your continued effort. You must be willing to press on despite the lack of immediate success. Every failure is a lesson, a chance to improve and adapt. The person who persists understands that the path to success is paved with failures that serve to strengthen their resolve. They see failure not as an obstacle, but as a stepping stone on their way to greatness. It's also crucial to recognize that persistence requires resilience. It is not enough to just keep going. You must learn how to recover quickly from setbacks. Life will throw curveballs, and many of them will be out of your control. However, how you respond to adversity defines your ability to persevere. A persistent person does not crumble when faced with difficulty. Instead, they bounce back stronger, more focused, and with a renewed sense of determination. They are not discouraged by temporary setbacks because they understand that every successful person has faced these same trials. The power of persistence is also about consistency. It's the small, seemingly insignificant actions taken every day that accumulate into monumental achievements over time. When you persist, you do not expect immediate rewards. You trust the process. Whether it's working out daily, learning a new skill, or pushing your business forward one step at a time, it is the consistent effort that leads to extraordinary results. Progress may be slow, but it is steady. When you persist, you are sowing the seeds of success, even when you can't see the harvest just yet. However, persistence is not about mindlessly working without a clear focus. It is about continually adjusting, learning, and improving. The most persistent people are also the most adaptable. They understand that while persistence is key, the road to success is not always linear. There will be moments when you must pivot, refine your approach, and make course corrections. But even in the face of this, the persistent person keeps moving forward. Persistence also requires patience. In a world driven by instant gratification, patience is often the greatest test of all. Results take time, and they require a sustained effort that can only come from persistence. It's the ability to do what needs to be done day after day without seeking shortcuts or immediate rewards. The rewards will come, but only after you have put in the work. The person who persists is not concerned with how long it takes. They are focused on the process and trust that success will come in its own time. The power of persistence can be seen in countless examples of success throughout history. Every great achievement was built on the back of relentless effort and continued pursuit. Whether it was Thomas Edison's thousand of failed attempts before inventing the light bulb, or the countless hours of practice that make a great athlete, persistence is the common thread. These individuals didn't become successful because they were the most talented or the most intelligent. They became successful because they refused to stop when faced with adversity. They learned from their failures, made adjustments, and continued to push forward. Ultimately, persistence is a decision. It's the choice to never give up, no matter the circumstances. It's the refusal to be defeated by temporary setbacks, knowing that every step forward brings you closer to your goal. With persistence, you can overcome anything. There is no mountain too high, no obstacle too great, no goal too far when you have the strength to keep moving forward. The power of persistence is the power to transform your dreams into reality. Temporary defeat is a concept that every successful person must learn to master. It is not failure in the truest sense, but rather a brief setback, a moment in time when things don't go according to plan. The key word here is temporary. The difference between those who achieve and those who do not lies in their ability to interpret defeat correctly. Too many people see temporary defeat as an insurmountable obstacle, a sign that they are not capable or that their dreams are unattainable. In reality, temporary defeat is often a signpost on the path to success. It is not an end, but a beginning, a chance to learn, to grow, and to rise stronger than before. The first thing to understand about temporary defeat is that it is a part of life. No one is immune. Even the most successful individuals have encountered failure, disappointment, and obstacles. The person who has never faced defeat has not yet faced the test of real achievement. Defeat is not an indicator of your potential. It is simply a part of the journey. Every single person who has ever achieved greatness has faced temporary setbacks, and their ability to move beyond these moments is what ultimately defined their success. One of the most important aspects of overcoming temporary defeat is perspective. When something goes wrong, it is easy to become discouraged and lose sight of the bigger picture. We tend to become emotionally attached to the outcome, and when it doesn't go as planned, it feels like the end of the world. But this emotional reaction clouds our ability to learn from the experience. The most successful people view temporary defeat as just that, temporary. They understand that a setback is not permanent, and it does not define them. It is simply a moment in time, a step in the process of learning and evolving. They refuse to let the temporary defeat determine the outcome of their lives. When faced with temporary defeat, it is important to take a step back and assess the situation rationally. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What went wrong? What can I do differently next time? The answers to these questions provide the insight you need to adapt and move forward. Temporary defeat offers valuable lessons, lessons that are not available in the moments of easy success. It forces you to analyze your approach, refine your strategies, and sharpen your skills. Embrace these lessons, for they are the building blocks of future success. The person who fails without learning from their failure is doomed to repeat it. But the person who uses each defeat as a lesson will eventually find the key to success. In addition to learning from temporary defeat, it is crucial to remain resilient. Life is a constant test of endurance, and the most successful individuals are often the ones who have mastered the art of bouncing back after a fall. Resilience is not about avoiding defeat, but about recovering quickly and using setbacks as fuel for the next step forward. When you fall, you have two choices. You can remain on the ground, wallowing in self-pity, or you can rise up, dust yourself off, and keep going. Resilience means choosing to rise. It means refusing to allow a temporary setback to become a permanent obstacle. Another essential component of overcoming temporary defeat is maintaining your belief in your goal. It is easy to lose faith when things aren't going as planned. The path seems unclear, the obstacles seem insurmountable, and the dream may appear out of reach. But this is precisely the moment when faith is most needed. Your belief in your ultimate goal must be stronger than your temporary frustration. You must remind yourself that every failure brings you closer to success, and every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Belief is the fuel that powers your persistence. It is the unwavering conviction that no matter how many times you stumble, you will ultimately reach your destination. It is also important to surround yourself with positivity and support during times of temporary defeat. Isolation in moments of failure can amplify your doubts and fears. Find a community of like-minded individuals who can offer encouragement, guidance, and perspective. Sometimes, all it takes to overcome a setback is a reminder that you are not alone, that others have faced similar challenges and emerged victorious. The journey may be yours alone, but you are not the only one walking it. Seek support, share your experiences, and learn from others. Strengthen your belief in yourself through the encouragement of those who are also on the path of growth and achievement. Finally, remember that temporary defeat is simply part of the natural rhythm of life. It is a test, a trial that you must pass in order to achieve lasting success. Without these challenges, there would be no progress, no growth, and no triumph. It is only through the crucible of adversity that you can forge the strength, wisdom, and character necessary to reach your highest potential. So, when faced with a temporary defeat, do not see it as a barrier, but as an opportunity to demonstrate your resilience, to learn, and to rise again stronger than before. Keep moving forward, for success lies just beyond the moment you choose not to give up. The power of a positive mental attitude cannot be overstated. It is the foundation upon which all success is built, the inner force that shapes the way we perceive and respond to the world. A positive mental attitude is not about being blindly optimistic or denying reality, but about choosing how you react to challenges, setbacks, and opportunities. It is about taking control of your thoughts and emotions, deliberately shaping your mindset to focus on solutions rather than problems, on opportunities rather than obstacles. The first step in harnessing the power of a positive mental attitude is awareness. Your thoughts are the beginning of every action you take, and the way you think influences everything about your life. If your mind is dominated by negativity, doubt, and fear, you will be constantly held back by your own thoughts. On the other hand, when you cultivate a positive mental attitude, you train your mind to focus on the potential for growth and success, no matter the circumstances. This shift in focus doesn't mean ignoring challenges. It means approaching them with a mindset that believes in the possibility of overcoming them. A positive mental attitude is not about pretending that life is easy or that challenges don't exist. It is about understanding that no matter how difficult the situation, there is always something you can do, always a way forward. It means embracing setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow, and refusing to be defeated by temporary circumstances. The person with a positive attitude sees each challenge as a chance to become stronger, wiser, and more capable. They do not dwell on what is wrong. They focus on what can be done to improve the situation. One of the most powerful aspects of a positive mental attitude is its ability to transform your energy. When you focus on positive thoughts, you naturally attract positive energy. Your attitude impacts not only your own behavior, but also how others perceive and interact with you. A positive attitude can open doors that might otherwise remain closed. People are drawn to those who radiate positivity, and the opportunities you seek often come to you through the connections and relationships you build with others. Furthermore, a positive mental attitude helps you overcome fear. Fear is one of the most common barriers to success. It paralyzes individuals, preventing them from taking the necessary actions to achieve their goals. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. These are all natural responses to stepping outside of your comfort zone. However, when you cultivate a positive attitude, you begin to view fear not as something to avoid, but as a signal that you are growing, that you are challenging yourself. The positive individual does not eliminate fear. They face it with courage, knowing that every step taken in spite of fear is a step toward greater success. A positive mental attitude also fosters resilience. Life will inevitably throw obstacles in your way, but it is how you respond to these obstacles that makes all the difference. Those with a positive attitude do not let setbacks or challenges define them. They understand that difficulties are a natural part of the process and that perseverance, guided by optimism, is the key to overcoming them. Instead of being discouraged by failure, they are motivated by it. They bounce back stronger, more determined to succeed. The person who maintains a positive mental attitude will not let circumstances dictate their state of mind or their actions. They create their own reality through their thoughts and beliefs. In addition, a positive attitude can be a catalyst for creativity. When you view the world with a positive perspective, you open your mind to new possibilities. The solution to every problem, the next step on your journey, the breakthrough you need to reach the next level of success. All of these things become clearer when you are not clouded by negativity. A positive mindset fosters creativity because it allows you to look at a situation from different angles, to approach problems with an open mind, and to believe that there is always a way to move forward. Instead of feeling blocked, you will feel empowered to find solutions. However, cultivating a positive mental attitude requires consistent effort. It does not happen overnight, and it is not always easy. Life can be tough, and there will be times when it feels as though everything is working against you. In these moments, it can be difficult to maintain a positive outlook, but it is precisely during these times that a positive attitude is most important. When things are tough, you must consciously choose to focus on the positive aspects of your situation. You must remind yourself of your strength, of the lessons you have learned, and of the progress you have made. Your thoughts must be consciously directed toward what you can control, rather than what you cannot. Over time, as you practice this mindset, it will become second nature. Ultimately, the power of a positive mental attitude is that it gives you control over your life. It allows you to shape your own reality, to move through challenges with confidence and determination, and to see every experience as an opportunity for growth. A positive attitude is the fuel that drives you forward, the lens through which you view the world, and the key to unlocking your potential. With a positive mindset, nothing is impossible. You hold within you the power to transform your life, your circumstances, and your future. Commitment to self-improvement is the cornerstone of long-term success and fulfillment. It is a continuous journey that demands dedication, discipline, and an unwavering belief that you can always become better than you were yesterday. This commitment is not a one-time event, but a mindset, a lifestyle. The person who is committed to self-improvement is never satisfied with mediocrity. They constantly strive to learn, grow, and evolve. They understand that true success is not just about achieving external goals, but about transforming themselves into the best possible version of who they are meant to be. The commitment to self-improvement starts with a clear understanding of where you are and where you want to be. It requires honesty and self-awareness. You must take an honest assessment of your strengths and weaknesses, recognizing areas for growth without judgment or self-criticism. This is not an exercise in self-deprecation, but an opportunity to identify opportunities for growth. Once you acknowledge your current state, you can begin to set meaningful goals that will guide your personal evolution. Self-improvement is a process, and it begins with a single step, the decision to take responsibility for your own development. Commitment to self-improvement also requires consistency. Success is not built in a day. It is a result of continuous effort over time. Too many people start strong, but lack the perseverance to follow through. They might read one self-help book, attend one seminar, or try one new habit, but without consistent application, change does not happen. It is the small, daily actions that create transformation. Whether it's reading for 30 minutes each day, exercising regularly, or practicing mindfulness, each action compounds over time. Every effort you put into improving yourself, no matter how small, contributes to your overall growth. One of the most powerful aspects of commitment to self-improvement is the willingness to learn. In a world that is constantly changing, the ability to adapt is crucial. The committed individual is always learning, always seeking new knowledge, new skills, and new experiences. They understand that no matter how much they know, there is always more to learn. This mindset of lifelong learning keeps them open to new ideas and willing to embrace change. By seeking new knowledge, they expand their horizons and become better equipped to handle the challenges that life throws their way. Along with learning, self-improvement requires a commitment to self-discipline. Discipline is the ability to stay focused on your goals despite distractions, temptations, or difficulties. It is the strength to push through when you don't feel like it, to keep going when others might quit, and to consistently work on your development even when it's hard. Self-discipline is not about perfection. It's about showing up day after day and doing the work regardless of how you feel in the moment. The person committed to self-improvement understands that progress is not always linear, and that setbacks are part of the journey. What matters is the ability to keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles in your path. The commitment to self-improvement also means embracing failure as a teacher. Too many people fear failure, but it is through failure that we learn the most. The person who is committed to self-improvement does not see failure as a setback, but as an invaluable opportunity to learn and grow. Every mistake, every failure is a lesson that moves you closer to your goal. By adopting this mindset, you remove the fear of failure from your life, and instead, you welcome it as part of the process of becoming the best version of yourself. Another critical aspect of self-improvement is the importance of self-care. In the pursuit of growth, it is easy to neglect your physical, mental, and emotional health. However, true self-improvement cannot occur without taking care of yourself. You must nurture your body with proper nutrition, exercise, and rest. You must care for your mind by seeking balance and reducing stress. You must also tend to your emotional well-being by cultivating positive relationships, managing your emotions, and practicing gratitude. When you commit to self-improvement, you understand that your personal growth is directly tied to your overall well-being. You cannot become your best self if you are not taking care of your mind and body. Additionally, commitment to self-improvement involves taking responsibility for your actions and your outcomes. It means understanding that your results are a reflection of the choices you make. The person committed to self-improvement does not blame external circumstances or other people for their shortcomings. They take ownership of their decisions, recognizing that they have the power to change their circumstances by changing their habits, thoughts, and actions. This level of accountability is what sets high achievers apart. They do not seek excuses. They seek solutions. They do not wait for the perfect moment. They make the most of the moment they have. Lastly, the commitment to self-improvement is rooted in the belief that you are capable of change. No matter where you start, no matter how far you have to go, the person committed to self-improvement believes in their ability to transform. This belief is the foundation of resilience, perseverance, and growth. When you believe in yourself, you will take the necessary steps to make improvements in every area of your life. You will recognize that the power to change lies within you, and that every step you take towards improvement is a step closer to the life you desire. Commitment to self-improvement is a lifelong journey. It requires constant attention, dedication, and the willingness to evolve. But in the end, the rewards are limitless. As you commit to improving yourself, you unlock new potential, discover new strengths, and achieve goals that once seemed impossible. The journey may be long, but the destination is worth every step. By dedicating yourself to becoming the best version of yourself, you create a life of purpose, fulfillment, and success.